So when it comes to documentation for network engineers, most engineers like to do like Visio drawings. This is how this is connected. We're using this VLAN, we're using this IP prefix, and these boxes are this little nice image. I did do that myself in the beginning when I worked with network as well. The problem when you have static drawings like Visio drawing or a PowerPoint drawing like this is that it's troublesome to change it. It can be complicated if you do large changes. And if you're doing such as this, you have images of a box, then you need to place like IP addresses separately and it's hard to overview it. So maybe it's a bit strange for me to complain on this when I do it myself when it comes to like education purposes for YouTube. But when it comes to like education like this, you want to show it more graphical. So you want to show it more graphical so it's easier for people to understand. So I think drawings like this is good for like references, reference design. So for example, this is a reference design on like, okay, how do we connect the load balancer? So load balancer can be connected in many different ways to the network. Depending on how you connect it, you get different benefits and drawbacks. So for example, if we do like number one here, we have a link network where we publish the VIP, and then we have an internal interface that sits on the same VLAN as the server. Then we have the benefit that we have the traffic flowing from north to south all the time. It passes the firewall, we get the logs, we have a specific link network where we have routed a specific set of like VIPs for the load balancer, but we don't push the traffic through the firewall again to limit speed. So we send it out on the local interfaces where the server is located to get better performance. So this is one way to connect the load balancer. But maybe we want to do inspection for all type of traffic. Let's say we do SSL offload in the load balancer and we send the traffic on the inside not encrypted. So we do HTTPS to the VIP and then we do HTTP to the backend server just to be able to inspect it in firewall. Well, then you need to send the traffic through the firewall twice. So that's a drawback. That could be a major drawback depending on what sort of traffic and how much it is. So this is just another reference design where we have like the firewall in the middle and then we have a few networks connected to it. So it uses the firewall as default gateway. And it also show like a logical way, like we have the production networks, the stage network, they are separated, they are connected to the firewall. It doesn't say that it's 55 switches in between and this VLAN and this prefix and we need to update it for this specific customer and they use this subscription for internet or for MPLS, IPVPN or SD-WAN and it has this sort of site-to-site tunnel over IPsec. It doesn't show anything like that. It just have a reference design that you can understand logically how everything is connected. If we're going to work in a more efficient way and manage larger environments, it's not good enough to only have like Visio drawings, Excel sheets, etc. We need to have a system. And this is the system that I use myself. So this is Netbox. And Netbox is, I would say it's a CMDB, but it's an IPAM, it's a DCMI, I think it's called like that. It's an open source software. You can try it out by going to demo.netbox.dev. There is instruction on how to install this. It's installed on a normal Ubuntu, and Ubuntu you can download from Ubuntu's website. And it's a step-by-step guide. It's even a video on how to install this. But more or less what Netbox is really good for is to be able to view sites, physical location. Like, yeah, we have this site. It's a branch office within the United States. You can put in like coordinates, and we have this rack within this site. This rack looks like this. It has a few devices. So this specific router, Cisco router of this module, and then you can see like this is connected to this switch with this type of cables. And we can even click on the cable and see like, yeah, termination A and termination B. We can even trace it. So we can add like patch panels between, so we can see like everything that is connected. Yes, this is manually done within the system, but it's much more efficient if you want to connect everything within Netbox. Then you get the list. So you have a list here of all the ports. So you can export all the ports, and you have the cables and how it's connected to different things. And you can send that out to field engineer and say like, yeah, you have these 5 boxes, they should be connected like this. This is an Excel sheet on how everything is connected. And when you do the planning, you put it in a plan mode. So it's planned like this. And when you get the confirmation like, yeah, this is installed, you just flip it to installed. Maybe we have a changelog of this cable. Yeah, so we have a changelog of this cable when it's connected and planned, and you can see the difference between it. So it's really good. And you can of course put like an IP address on this specific device. So the other thing that Netbox is really good on is IP addresses. So when it comes to IP addresses, you have IP prefixes, and an IP prefix is defined, or an IP prefix can have different child objects. So you have like, yeah, I have this /16 for this specific country, and each office has like /24. So you want to see the next available thing. So for example, here we have /15 that is subnetted down to several smaller prefixes. And if we go into this /22, sorry, we can see the child prefixes, what is used, what is available. So we see here like, yeah, this prefix is active and it's the data. So we can filter for like access data. We can see all the prefixes assigned to this. So it's really efficient that way. But anyway, if we take this one, for example, we can see IP addresses. We see that we have a lot of free ones. So we just click here, we get the first one, we can create it. So now we have an IP address, and we can actually put that to a device. And this is not my environment, this is a demo environment. But let's say like this router for this specific interface. So we do like this, IP address, assign IP, and we make it primary for this device. Now we have it visible here. That is the primary IP address, how to connect to this specific router. And we can see that it's actually assigned to this interface. We can configure the tables how we want it. If we don't want to see the label, just remove it. If we don't see the IP address from start, we can add the IP address so we can see it in the table. So this is really nice. And of course you can figure out like, yeah, we have 13 of this Cisco devices and they are located here. We can add information on them, so we can have like images. This is how the device looks, the front image, the rear image. We can have the airflow. We can have how many use, if it's full length. We can have if it has more components such as double PSUs, or we can add CPU memory, whatever. And as it is a system, you can have another system that logs into your devices, do like a show version or show inventory, and then sends in the information to Netbox to update it with like MAC addresses and descriptions or whatever on the interfaces. So this can be really efficient and really nice. And you can have like a little button here connecting to other systems such as monitoring or backup or whatever. And you can, from this system, use like scripts to push out configuration to like, yeah, this is in stage mode or in active mode, and I want to start to monitor this little device, so I can have like a small button here says activate monitoring. This is something that I myself have used for many years, and it has been a game changer. And I think that if you don't have a system like this, check it out. It's so much more efficient to work from systems, and other people will thank you. You're not able to manage a network without a system like this if you have more than 50 devices, 100 devices. You need to keep track of things. So for example, let's pretend that this is a checkpoint firewall. Then when we do an upgrade, we can of course put in like the software version on this specific device, but we can also put like a journal entry and says like, yeah, successful upgrade made to R81.20 HFA 53, and just info. So we see like, yeah, something happened here, or like caution, had issue with memory leaks. And if you put in things like this, and over time, if you see like, okay, I have multiple problems with this thing, maybe I should make a ticket to Checkpoint. And you can have, so you put in like reference things. So you can have all of these fields. You can add additional fields if you want to as well. As this is an open source, there are a lot of pre-built things. There are a lot of things that you can change within the GUI how you want it, and you can build stuff for it yourself. So I've seen some complaints on Reddit that I talk too much about crap that has nothing to do with the video. So I think that's it for this short introduction with Netbox, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.